The devastation, the poverty that gripped this nation, not just among African Americans, but even in the Poor People's Campaign, he looked at poverty as an illness that gripped any person or any individual as a systemic problem that we should eradicate. And so when Dr. King began to take that turn, April 4th, 1967 at the Riverside Church, he became a very unpopular man because he began to do what I still think we need to do, especially in the church community, the faith community from where I come from, but I also serve as a civic or civil leader in many areas connected to community as well as to corporate America. And that's to challenge people to do better by the communities in which they occupy. If you're going to be in Memphis and you see the crime and the poverty and the skills that are diminishing among our students that are in our education system, step up and do something. But if you're not challenged, if you're not called out, if you're not pointed out, you will, quote unquote, stay in our community, get a pilot, and walk to the bank every day and do well. And so although those things can be controversial sometimes, if we don't have that conversation, we continue to watch the erosion of the skill set of young people who go to the schools that Mr. Hobson leads and Mr. Woods leads, and they try to go on to the colleges that Dr. Hall leads and then to the Board of Regents, where we all suffer and work together and try to make things better. And so that happens, and we don't challenge the people who can do something about it. It takes a tax dollar to improve education. It takes a tax dollar to improve the quality of life for people in our city. And so that's what the work of Dr. King was about when he began to talk about employment building education. So I don't believe that we can talk about these things in silos, and I believe that when our corporate citizens and all of the people who are doing great work like Dr. Prescott and others are doing the work, you also need community leaders who will be vanguards and people who will be visionaries and people who will be voices to connect this work to the people who need it most.
Thank you, Pastor Norman. Neil Harris.
Good afternoon. I'm very humbled as well to be here. I am someone who probably would never have thought I'd be on a panel for any reason that had to do with working and helping people. I'm a school teacher by trade. I originally taught 9th grade English at Whitehaven High School.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Great
And I'm reminded of something. When I taught, one of the most prolific things that I wanted kids to know was that Martin Luther King wrote a paper. And he didn't just write a paper, he wrote a paper in college. And he didn't just write a paper in college, he wrote a paper in college while still 17. So you gotta add to the story. And then the purpose of the paper was for the purpose of education. That's what he actually called the paper. And in the paper, he said, the purpose of education is for utility and culture. Well, utility is MLG&W, which is your power. It just means that I have more power if I have education, because you may not give me the true knowledge. So I don't have to ask you, I can look it up for myself because I'm educated. I can read, I can write. You may have one way of looking at it, but let me see if there's another one. That was the purpose of education, utility. But the other purpose, he said, was culture. Well, culture is a sense of understanding your purpose, which is interesting because at the beginning of the Bible, God says that let there be light was something that people thought was physical, but it wasn't. Physical light came with the sun to govern man by day and the moon to govern man by night. So the first day, let there be light, to me was purpose. I don't need a bird trying to swim and I don't need a fish trying to fly. I need everything I create to have purpose so that a dog doesn't move and a cow doesn't bark. So if God created me, I'm supposed to have purpose. So as a teacher, I understood that if I use education to help them find their purpose, then along with the purpose comes culture, because culture means you're obligated to give someone else their purpose. That's the point of having a culture. So if you don't teach a group of people their culture, how can they find their purpose? So I opened a placement service called Prestigious Placement, where we teach purpose. See, I don't allow you to come in because you know how to drive a forklift. Do you embody the spirit of a strong-minded forklift driver? See, I have to give them culture. See, the corporations that I staff for now are International Paper. I do the direct hire for Nike. I do MLG&W. I do TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods. I'm over the U.S. Mint. I also do Barrett Distribution, PIMCO, Americraft, and I'm also working on Electrolux now. See, Randstad has decided to get their people from me now. See, it works out better to just let someone who's from here do this. See, the staffing agencies make billions. We're the #1 city in the country for staffing, and 116% of the jobs that were created were all temporary. Even Federal Express is buying out executives who stayed too long. See, what's happening now is everybody wants something younger, faster, and cheaper. The only thing they forgot to do was make them better. See, now we have to go back and undo what we've done, and then we have to redo it the way we knew from the beginning. I ask you tonight to appeal to the spirit of man. The Bible says that the spirit of man is the candle of the Lord, searching all the inward parts of the belly. We've got to search these kids and meet them where they are. You can't come to someone's city and say, how do I get to your house, without them asking you, well, where are you? to guide you where you want to go, I have to first find out where are you. So a teacher taught me to find out where are you, and then staffing taught me to take you where you want to go. And so prestigious placement is the future. Along with these people on the panel, I want to make sure that we tie the spirit of business to real business. Chick-fil-A is a guide for me. They took a spirit and wrapped it in a chicken sandwich. Sure, they're closed on Sunday, but from the time they open on Monday to the time they close on Saturday night, the line's in the street. You've never seen a line in the street of McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, McDonald's, KFC. No, it doesn't happen. See, it's the spirit of the business that makes the chicken so good. What I want you to know tonight is we want to make sure we embody the spirit of Dr. King. He gave his life up at the age of 39, and tonight I'm 39. I'm honored to be here, and I thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give our panelists a round of applause. Now for the first question.